Hey everyone, how are you doing? I hope that you guys are doing amazing and fantastic and wonderful. We've got Alicia here. Happy Book Club Day. We've got Kat Reads. We've got Helen Boyle. Hello. Imbi is not going to be here because it's her 25th anniversary, but she did tell me what she rated it. And Lisa's first grandbaby was born. And so she is spending time with her daughter and her grandbaby. I'm so excited for her. She looks precious. Hi, Diva. How are you? I am so excited to talk to you guys tonight about Meow. If it's murder, I have all of the thoughts. Hi, Erica. How are you? I'm so glad that you're joining. Welcome. And Cleo, of course, the actual star of all of the shows. And I am having some peach Moscato right now because the week I have had. Hi, Donna. How are you? Hi, Ivy. Oh, I'm so excited that everybody is able to join. I'm so excited. How is everybody doing? How's life? And how many Cleos or how many star ratings did you rate Meow if it's murder? Oh, hi, Sleepless Cynthia. I can't stay for the spoilery section. Hi. Yes, you can always come back and watch after you have finished reading the book. 1,000,000%. Love peach and strawberry Moscato. Oh my God. Yeah. This is like, I think it's called Sun Pop or Pop Sun or something like that. It's at Target and it's like $8 and it is so good, so delicious. 3 Cleos enjoyed. Okay, I'm going to read the synopsis while everybody gives me their star ratings in the comment section. Okay, so it says Nora Charles doesn't believe in fate, even if she's a even if she is a crime reporter who shares the name of a character from The Thin Man. In fact, she's moving back to Cruz, California to have a quieter life. But after finding an online magazine eager for material and a stray cat named Nick with a talent for detection, Nora's not just reporting crimes again, she's uncovering them. Back in her hometown, Nora reconnects with old friends and makes some new ones, like Nick, the charming feline who seems determined to be her cat. But not everything about Cruz is friendly. Writing for a local online magazine, Nora investigates the curious death of socialite Lola Granger. Though it is deemed an accident, Nora suspects foul play, and it seems that her cat does too. Apparently, Nick used to belong to a PI who disappeared while investigating Lola Granger's death. The coincidence is spooky, but not as spooky as the clues Nick spells out for her with Scrabble letters. Clues that lead her down an increasingly dangerous path. Whether fate put her on this case or not, solving it will take all of Nora's wits and maybe a few of Nick's 9 lives. Bum, bum, bum. I will say that the picture of Nick right here is a spitting image of my cat, Tom. He passed away last year, but I like the whole entire time I was reading this book, I was picturing Tom and like as Nick. And it just that would have fit him. So just like if I can find it, I'll post a picture on my Instagram of him with a bow tie on, and it's just like spitting image of Nick and just all of that. Okay, so Alicia says 3 Cleos enjoyed. Hi, Jenna. 3 cats. Hi, Anne. How are you? We've got 5 Cleos, 3 Cleos, 3 Cleos. Anne, I loved this book and gave it 5 Cleos, 3 Cleos. Helen Boyle, 1.5 Cleos. Oh no. Okay. So we've got sort of a mixed range of feelers for this book. We go from 1.5 stars to 5 stars. I gave this book, I think I gave it like 3.5, 4 stars. Like I thought it was a solid a solid book. But let's dive into some of the questions I have for you all. One, I want to know how you read this book. Did you read it physical, ebook, or on audio? So I, of course, as I do, um, I own it in all three ways. I own it with audio. I actually got a really good discount on Libra FM from it. Libra FM has like bomb discounts for cozy mysteries specifically, and I love them for it. But I got it on there. And so I listened to it there. I already owned it from buying it a long while ago. And then I got it on ebook so that I could go through the second time and highlight names for our character list on Patreon. And so I will say that I really, really did like it on audiobook, but I feel like I missed out on a lot of, like, the nuances and, like, the things that Nick did, um, by not reading it either ebook or physical. Like, why in the world did it take me forever to read FIB as FBI, like, with the Scrabble letters? I was so annoyed with myself because I know for a fact that if I had read it on the page, I'd have been like, "Oh, that's the FBI." And then instead it was like, "Oh, Courtney, that's embarrassing for you. Oh my goodness." Okay. Let's see. We've got Anne said that she read it physically. Kat read it on audio. Oh, Star. Hi, Star. So nice to see you. Happy for being here. Words are hard for me today, guys. Ebook, audiobook, part audiobook, and I like that. And part ebook. We've got audio. The narrator, when doing her own voice, sounded really clipped. When she did character voices, it was good. I agree with that. I agree with that. And it was easier for me to keep up with the character voices as opposed to her voice. Um, hello, modified mama. I just got the audiobook for it on Libby just now. Yes, I hope you flippin' love it. Um, yes, welcome Star. Ebook. Okay, so solid. I um I really didn't like normally when I go for it being on audiobook, like I don't ever like I miss the physical feeling of holding a book, but life with toddlers doesn't allow me to have that luxury. But I felt like I missed part of it by not being able to read it. Sometimes there are just books like that happen. Like you feel like you have to read it physically. Is anybody else like that? Okay. So one, what did you think about Nick as the cat, like the cat with detective, like his skills? What were your thoughts on that? And I think that okay, so I finished the book I think last week or the week before, and I'm pretty sure like Nick is the detective, right? Like I feel like Nick is like has the soul of Nick Atkins. So our main character is trying to start her life over, but her mom has passed away and she's got her sandwich shop. And she was like a big time crime reporter in Chicago, specifically like of like mafia crime lords and all of that stuff. And she still wants to do some writing on the side, and so she gets a gig with this guy who has like a crime magazine, and she learns of Lola Granger dying, and um, she was a customer, a longtime customer of her mother's. Like they had like unspoken agreements of like, hey, you'll cater the 4th of July and Memorial Day, things like that. And so she feels like she owes it to I think I almost feel like she owes it to her mom to figure out what happened with Lola. I think that's how she feels a lot of it as well. And so I I liked that the author was able to tie Nora into the mystery that way by having Lola also be attached to her mom who had just recently passed away. I was worried Nick was the detective's soul ghost, which then made it creepy for the cat to sleep in the bedroom. I can see that. I can see that. Um, I loved the cat. Yep, feel like a little paranormal bent with Nick. The cat is embodied by the detective. Okay, so did it end up being that he was embodied by the detective? Did we find out that for some reason it's escaping my mind? Did Nick Atkins, the real detective, did he pass away? I'm for some reason it's just like leaving my head right now. Uh, I wished the cat Nick's detective skills were a bigger part of the story or showed up earlier. I loved the cat, but given the cover and the description, I thought it would be a bigger plot point. I agree. I feel like she could have put Nick more into the story. Though I did love like the Scrabble. I loved his feisty sort of like sassiness, especially when it came to Nora's best friend, Chantel, whenever she kept trying to like design jewels for his neck. That was cracking me up. Um so I love that Nick the cat has skills like playing Scrabble, reading journals, reading articles on the internet because of his previous owner being API helped me believe it, right? Like I really enjoyed that. I love Nick the cat. His involvement in helping to solve the case was so great, and that he could spell with Scrabble tiles. I was like, that is flipping brilliant. I loved that. I had to put the Scrabble tiles on the character list today. It wasn't clear at the end of book one. Okay, like I am sort of like manifesting it. Like I really, really hope that it is Nick, the PI's like soul or like inside the cat. I don't know. I'm weird. Um, it reminded me of a mystery that read in which dogs communicated by writing words with cereal. Oh, I like that. You find out more about Nick Atkins, the PI, as you go further in the series. Good to know. Um, I feel like the missing detective was either a plot hole or a cliffhanger. Maybe the next book will tell us more. You might be right, Diva. That might be one of those mysteries within a mysteries that sort of draws you in, right? I think it was implied that the soul of Nick was in the cat. That's what I thought too. So, but then I was like, I need verification. I need more. And so either way, it doesn't matter. I am in love with the cat Nick, and it made me miss my Tom so much. So much. Um, so as we're going through the whole entire mystery of Nora like trying to figure out who Nick belongs to, what were your thoughts on like the clues that were dropped and the red herrings? Which clues did you find the most intriguing in Lola Granger's like unraveling her death? That like did you like it? Did you do you feel like maybe it was pulled on too much or there were too many different variations of where you could go? I would really, really like to know what your thoughts are. One of the things that I felt was kind of pulling me in different directions was that, okay, it started out with the first chapter being in Lola's point of view. And that is something that is not done very often anymore at all because editors, for some reason, aren't liking those kind of things. I actually had uh, a prologue like that written for Death on Deck, and I was asked to remove it. So I was surprised. I really, really like it when you can either see the like in the first chapter, like have a prologue that is maybe within the murder's perspective or the victim's perspective, which is what TC did in this one. I really, really liked that. I feel like it drew me in to the book even more. Like Lola never knew what hit her. Like I automatically wanted to go, okay, like continue, please. And I wanted to be pulled in more. And so then like after the first few pages of chapter 1 in the prologue, we dove into Nora and sort of now we're going to figure out what happened, how it happened, and I really really liked that. I will say though, I felt like there were a lot of ways that her death could have occurred. Which I know is one of the things that we love about mysteries, right? Is trying to figure out the whodunit, trying to figure out um, what happened. But I will say, and this might be because I listened to it on audio, um, but I had a hard time keeping up with like how it could have happened because there were a lot of suspects within the book itself, right? Like we've got um let me see. We have her husband, Lola's husband, Kevin, and then we have his Marshall Connor, the controller of the KMG group, Buck Tabor, which is the VP of accounting. I even suspected Patty Simmons, Kevin's admin, all the way up until she was found killed by Nora. I even suspected let me see. I suspected Adrian Sloan, or not Adrian Sloan, Alicia Samuels, um, as well as Captain Shelley Lott. Like there were a lot of suspects within this book. And so it was very hard to like figure out for me the whodunit. It wasn't until I think I didn't figure it out until Nora figured it out. So that was well done because it was something that normally I'm really good at figuring out the whodunit, at least by like the 60th percent mark. But there were a lot of characters named in the first book, which rule of thumb is like you don't normally have that many characters because unless they my editor told me that unless they have more than, I think it was more than 4 or 5 sentences of dialogue, they don't need to be named, which I thought was really really interesting. uh Alicia, agree. I got lost with the characters and how they related to each. Lots of characters. I needed a notebook. Normally, I would like something like the prologue, but the opening reminded me too much of Natalie Wood. I don't know who Natalie Wood is, Helen. Um, I liked the prologue that it was in Lola's perspective. It drew me in, which is nice because some cozies can be slow to get into the mystery, which I agree. I love those ones that start that way, but apparently it's a faux pas normally. There are a lot of clues and twists to throw you off just when you think you know, something else happens to show that you were wrong. Exactly. Like I thought it was so cool, like just really really well thought out, that Nora was a well-known crime writer for like about the mob and the mafia and things like that in Chicago, and then that also ends up being a thread that ties her even more to the Lola Granger um murder. Like I love the fact that sort of like came together. I thought that was good. Okay, I need to know about Natalie Wood. Now I'm going to have to Google it after book club because I have no idea what that is or who that is. Were there any specific plot twists that caught you off guard? Or maybe pulled you out of the book itself? Um, I think the only thing that really threw me for a loop was when I think whenever I didn't realize that Adrian Sloan was also her Alicia Samuels. Um And because when Daniel dropped the bomb on Nora that Lola Granger's sister died in prison, I was like, "Oh my god, I now know nothing. I don't trust anything from myself because I did not see that coming. I didn't see FBI coming. I didn't see witness protection coming. I didn't see that even Kevin was going to be a part of the witness protection, and he was really Carl Goring. Like I didn't see any of that coming at all. Let me see. I liked the prologue too. It was interesting that she had been a true crime writer. It was an unusual choice and added a lot to the story. I agree, and I like it when the protagonist has a unique career, but even more so when when their career doesn't make it too disbelievable, unbelievable for you to believe that they could be in on trying to figure out this cold case or this reopening this case. Um, sorry, I'm going down. Not a twist, but too many Cheries from the BFF. I agree. She could tone back her Cheries a little bit. Yeah, the prison thing threw me off. I don't like mafia as a plot point or as a plot twist. It isn't interesting to me. Yeah, the plot twist was a shock for me too. Yeah, I did not expect that. Meg, totally agree, especially since she was not French. So was she? So she dual was she dual um uh she had two dual citizenships? Is that what it was? I need to go back and read because I thought that like she was part French. Um at least that's what I thought, but I am not quite sure. But I feel like it did say that she was part French or uh Oh, Chantel's California born and bred, but both of her parents hail from Paris, France. She grew up thinking in English, not French. Uh, she grew up thinking English, not French, was her second language. So she actually did. I bet you her family spoke nothing but French at home, and then whenever they were at school and out and about, she spoke English. So that would make sense. French, yeah, French parents, but born in the States. It felt very contrived. So I can see both ways on how people would feel that way in both, but as someone who has taught a lot of students who are bilingual at home, a lot of them still use their parts of their native language intermixed with English. So, but I do agree there were a lot of cheries. Um, what was your favorite scene and why? And how did it impact the story? So I don't know necessarily if there was like a specific like scene that really impacted the story, but I thought it was hilarious when she took Nick to the boat to meet Captain is it Shelley Iott? Captain Shelley Lott. Of the boat, and then they start hearing like all of the noises, and it's like right after they find the admin's body, they go and run into like this room, and he's sitting there, and he grabs this envelope, dives under, hides away from her, and then whenever she gets back to her shop, he's covered in mud and dirt and gunk, and he like dug up the area and put the clue that he found underneath. I just thought it was freaking hilarious. Like, is it campy? Is it something that's more like a caper-esque? Yes. But did I want to believe it with all of my being and in my heart of hearts? Yes. I thought that was freaking hilarious, and I loved it so, so much. I love all the Nick and Nora references. I love the Thin Man movies. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to make you be very doubtful in me, but I have never seen a Nick and Nora movie or the Thin Man movies. I haven't seen any of it. This is the first time I have ever heard of it. And so I feel like it's going to make me go out of my comfort zone and really dive into the Thin Man movies. Um, I love all of the scenes with Nick the cat and Ollie. They really make the series for me. I love Nick and I love Ollie, and I'm so happy that Ollie will be in, hopefully in more of the books, because I really feel like, one, his story broke my heart with getting a divorce, and then his son attempting to take his own life was just something that like my heart just wept for. Um and so I was very much like, I was automatically drawn to Oliver, and I really wanted more for him. You would love them, especially the first one. Okay, I'm gonna tell my husband that I need them. Um, so what were your guys' thoughts on Nora's cafe influence? Um, I I will say that I did not get a like a cozy town vibe from book 1 at all. I got more of like a big city kind of vibe from it, but I will say that I love the idea that a sandwich shop exists that sells like the Lady Gaga, or like I think that that's a really really cool premise, and I hope that the next book in the series still leans more into that, because I feel like we didn't get the feeling of the deli shop, though I will say that this book isn't meant to be a foodie cozy, right? Like, it's called a Nick and Nora mystery. So I don't feel like it's fair to have that expectation of it being a foodie cozy just because she took over her mom's deli, though I do think that I really really like um how she's taken it over from her mom after her mom passed, and she has made it her own, but still with the memory of, like, in memory of her mom. And so I really liked that aspect of it, and it made me like Nora as a character even more than what I normally would have with when it comes to a first book in a series. So that was something that I feel like I really enjoyed about the cafe vibes. Um, but I'd love to know what you guys thought of it. Um, One of the other things, as you guys are responding to that, I want to know, what do you guys think about this author's writing style, specifically within the cozy mystery genre? Did it keep you hooked, or was the cursing, because there's a lot more cursing in this one than in normal traditional cozy mysteries, did those take you out of the story more than you would have liked? Because I know that there are some cozy mystery purists who want no cursing at all gore and murder off the page, and any romance to be very very vanilla romance, all closed doors, kind of thing. So let me know what you thought of the author's writing style when it came to that. I kind of felt like the customers we met annoyed Nora. I would agree with that. There were a couple that she was just kind of like, "You're gonna get the plain sandwich every single time because you have an ailment." Like, so like I can see that. I liked the sandwich shop and all of the descriptions and namings of the sandwiches. Yeah, I craved a sandwich the whole entire time that I was reading this. I would like to see a little more of the cafe. I agree. Like, I want to know more about the surrounding area of it. I didn't get a feel for the cafe. The bar was described a lot better. It was described a lot better. I'm not a big fan of foodie cozies, so I was good with the amount of deli we got. Nick the cat ate good because of the deli. I know every time that he ate better than me. Like, he I'm just like, come on. I'm an adult. I should be eating just as glorious of food as this cat. Cursing was surprising. I also thought the son's suicide was a little darker than most cozies. I agree. Yeah, there were a lot more things that were hit upon. When did this book come out? Let me look. This book came out in 2014. So this is 10 years old. So it's not as though this is a recent release. This is a backlist cozy. I try to do a lot of that when it comes to book club because one, not everybody is going to have the money to buy a brand new cozy mystery, especially with how much they're costing right now. And it's hard to get them in their libraries because they're so brand new. And so I like to also support authors and things that they have written in the past because they're just as good as the ones that are coming on now. Let me see. I would like to see more of the sandwich shop too. It is a great idea and would like to know a little bit more about it. Um, I actually want to see more of the crime writing. Yes, like I want to know I want to know even more. Like I loved the small scene of her going to the library that she used to go to when she was a kid to start doing research. Like I wanted more of that. I wanted to like dive into those films. Like I just love that kind of research though. So I think it's really, really, really cool. Um, let me see. How does the author create a sense of danger for Nora and Nick? Did it keep you on edge? There were quite a few times that I was on edge when it came to the danger limit for Nora when they were on the ship. 100% that kept me on edge. When she was roaming around the office, like the offices of Kevin and Lola Granger, and she went into Allison Samuel's office, and then like Kevin Granger was like right outside the door. That did keep me on my toes a little bit. I was like, "Ooh," like that creeped me out. Overall, I have a very active imagination, so when they talked about the human Nick Adkins meeting Adrienne Sloan, Lola's sister, at the dock, like I could really feel that. And I was like, whew, that was, huh, that's getting me. Yes, definitely when on the ship in the office, that took guts, right? Like I was like, mm. It definitely kept me on edge, especially after they were on the boat and then Nick went missing. I know. Like I was like, this is a cozy mystery. Like the one line that I draw is if something happens to that cozy companion, anything happens to that cat or that dog or that crow or like whatever, like you have lost me as a reader, hands down. Like you can curse, you can have more romance on the page, you can have like I will be very lenient and bending of the rules when it comes to cozies, but you mess with those cozy companions and like you've got to fight on your hands, bro. I will throw hands if something happens to a cozy companion. Like in cozies, they are meant to live for 20 million years. Like everyone else around them can fall off and die, to be honest. But you touch those cozy companions and nope, nope. I will riot. Riot. So overall, what are your thoughts and impressions of the book, especially as we're going through and talking about it? I don't know if you guys listen to Curl Up and Clue In, which is the cozy mystery podcast that Spencer from Intentionally Bookish and I host together. But our last episode was all about like cozy mystery ratings and rating with the vibes. But one of the things that always gets me is after we talk about a book for a book club, I am very, very likely to rate the book like higher at the end of book club. I don't know why, but there have been times where like I was like a 3 on the fence and then you guys were like, "No, Courtney," and you like hyped up all of these things and I was like, "You're right. You're right. I did like that. I did like that." And then I go and I rate it higher. Like, I don't know about you. How do you guys feel at the end of book club about the series and are you going to continue it? I want to know if you're going to continue it. Me, personally, I will 100% be continuing the Nick and Nora mystery series. I want to gobble them up, and I'm very, very, very excited about it. Yeah, I remember reading a novel where the companion dog gets shot, doesn't die, but leave the doggy alone, y'all. Really? Like, seriously. Diva, you're right. I agree. I liked it and would read more from the series. That's good. I'm very, very happy about that. And uh I'm definitely going to continue the series. I already ordered book 2. Yeah, MB was messaging me on Instagram, and she was like, "Just so you know, I already ordered the next 2 books in the series." And I was like, "Yes." And I'm pretty sure Lisa also enjoyed the series as well. I'd have to go back and look at my text messages. But I was like, "Yes, yes, yes." I have already continued the series and can't wait for book 7. I'm just like, "Yes." And it is a like it's got 6 books out so far. So that is a good amount of cozy reading, cozy binge reading that you guys can do. So, I don't know how many times y'all are going to do this to me, but I just want to show you something right now. I just want to show you something, just like a little bit, a little bit. Hold on. Hold, please. I'm just like, are you serious about what you guys are doing to me? Um, so here is my screen, and here is the poll for June's picks. Do you see this right here? You see this? These are tied. Guys, it wasn't until this year. We have been doing this cozy mystery book club for since 2017. And this is I think the third time this year that we have had a tie between 2 of the choices. I don't even know what to do with my hands. But we had 50 votes total, and Delicious and Suspicious and Farm Fresh Murder both got 34%. And so, you know what that means? We have to click to spin to figure out what we are going to be reading for June. So as you can see, they're all here an even amount of times. And so I'm going to click to spin, and whatever one is picked is what we're reading for June. So here it goes. It looks like Farm Fresh Murder is what is for June. Um, we've got, so let me show you. This is Farm Fresh Murder by Paige Shelton. This is the first in the Farmers Market Mystery Series, which I am obsessed with farmers markets. And here is the setup. Becca Robbins leads a simple life, making jams and preserves on her very own farm. But when there's a murder in her quaint little town, she goes from making jam to being in one. Becca is late for her stall time at Bailey's Farmers Market. By the time she arrives, the normally lush and lively market has turned into a crime scene, with a murdered peach vendor as the featured item of the day. Cranky old Abner Justin sells wildflowers and is like a father to Becca. It seems he's also the number one suspect seen arguing with the victim just days before. As Becca seeks the truth, she comes to realize that life in the friendly farmer's market is filled with bushels of secret and deceit. To preserve her own life, she'll have to sniff out the murderer before he spoils the market for everyone. And so let's see. Um, Helen says she's not going to continue, but she has another series that she's going to try. There are more series I'm more interested in, so not planning to continue right now. Totally makes sense. Yes, Meg, we tied again. I liked and will read more, but not enough to jump ahead of some of the other cozies. That makes sense. She has written a series about a pet shop that looks interesting. Another tie. I know. I was like, guys, how are we doing this? Yes, Farm Fresh Murder, you already own it. I'm already listening to Cobblered, even if it isn't picked. It is really good and free on Audible. Yeah, no, all of these are already on my physical TBR. They will be read. Yay, I'm so happy that you guys are so excited about Farm Fresh Murder. It just looks fantastic and exactly like the farmers market that we have here in Broken Arrow on Main Street every Saturday. So I'm flipping thrilled about it. Thanks for the book club, Courtney. Best part of my week. Oh, thank you guys so much for showing up and talking cozy mysteries with me. We will meet on the last Wednesday of June. I will make the bookmark and put it up and everything on Patreon. Until then, I will comment and chat with you guys on Instagram and on YouTube. But I hope that you guys have a lovely evening and a great start to your summer. But good night, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Bye.